Although Georgie and Mandy's first marriage has one major breakup to explain, The Big Bang Theory's canon has already hinted at another conflict in Young Sheldon's spin-off. Young Sheldon's spin-off went with the title Georgie and Mandy's first marriage for a reason. In The Big Bang Theory Season 11, Episode 23, The Sibling Realignment, Sheldon's older brother Georgie revealed he had an ex-wife. Thus, when Georgie and Mandy got married in Young Sheldon Season 7, it was only a matter of time before the couple inevitably broke up. Now the spin-off can explain why this happened and what happened afterward. However, The Big Bang Theory set up more than just this tidbit of lore for Georgie and Mandy's first marriage. The original show also established Georgie's resentment toward Sheldon over his absence from their family after George Sr.'s death. Since Sheldon left for Caltech in Young Sheldon's finale, this internal conflict is likely to play out in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage as Georgie grows gradually more frustrated with the pressures of keeping his family together. Meanwhile, The Big Bang Theory also revealed Georgie's line of work in the same episode, and this may reveal more about the spin-off story. In the first trailer for Georgie and Mandy's first marriage, Georgie has an ally in Mandy's father, Jim McAllister. While Mandy's mother Audrey openly despises Georgie, Jim initially befriended his son-in-law back in Young Sheldon Season 7. Where Audrey saw a gormless time-waster, Jim saw a diligent hard worker whose undeniably industriousness could come in handy. However, The Big Bang Theory secretly already revealed one reason that Jim and Georgie might fall out in the future, and this subtle revelation came in The Sibling Realignment. The episode revealed Georgie owns a chain of successful tire stores. Jim hired Georgie to work in his tire store in Young Sheldon Season 7, and the trailer for Georgie and Mandy's first marriage reveals that he is still working there in the spin-off. There are multiple ways that Georgie and Mandy's first marriage could justify Georgie and Mandy's eventual breakup, but one factor might be Georgie setting up a rival business after learning all he could from Jim McAllister. Georgie's chain of tire stores is branded as Dr. Tire, much to Sheldon's chagrin, and that branding is notably absent from Jim's story in Young Sheldon. Georgie may open a business that puts him in direct competition with his father-in-law, thus alienating Mandy's family and potentially Mandy herself. Georgie spoke to both Sheldon and Leonard about how hard he worked to provide for the Cooper family after his father's death, so he may decide that competing with Jim is worth it if it means supporting Missy, Meemaw, and Mary. This would be a dark twist, but it is one for which The Sibling Realignment sowed the seeds years earlier when The Big Bang Theory first revealed Georgie's job. If Georgie does end up running a rival business, he would risk pushing away his biggest ally. Mandy loves him, but she also wants to repair her relationship with her obstinate mother. As evidenced by Audrey kicking Mandy out during her pregnancy, she is not a particularly forgiving or yielding personality. Some of Young Sheldon's best moments prove that Georgie can be fairly stubborn too, but Mandy would be more likely to side with her family over her husband if both of her parents disapproved of Georgie. Moreover, Georgie setting up a rival business would arguably justify their distrust. Georgie's chain of tire stores needs to start somewhere, and that could be as a competitor to Jim's family-owned business. If this is the case, Mandy's family may end up having a good reason for their dislike of Georgie. Like his brother, Georgie can be single-minded and ruthless to a fault despite his good nature. He may end up double-crossing Jim and burning his best bridge into the McAllister family, which may in turn explain his subsequent divorce. While The Big Bang Theory's Sheldon had many flaws, his older brother also went years without speaking to him. This proved that Georgie wasn't overly mature, so it would not come as a major shock if Georgie considered the short-term success of his business more important than the long-term trust of his father-in-law. If this is the case, Mandy's reasons for divorcing her husband could become clear as he establishes a business that risks putting her father out of the job. Thus, The Big Bang Theory may have revealed the ending of Young Sheldon's spin-off Georgie and Mandy's first marriage years ago. In the sprawling universe of The Big Bang Theory and its equally beloved prequel Young Sheldon, few stories have taken as many twists and turns as the unexpected romance between Georgie Cooper and Mandy McAllister. Fans have watched the bumpy beginning of their relationship evolve into something deeper, richer, and surprisingly heartwarming, only to witness its tragic undoing. But just when viewers thought the heartbreak of their divorce was the final chapter, a bombshell revelation shakes the narrative once more. Their first marriage was riddled with cracks long before the papers were signed. In a twist few saw coming, it's now revealed that Georgie and Mandy endured a devastating breakup during their marriage, one that changes everything we thought we knew. This is not your typical sitcom plot twist. It's raw, real, and messy. And that's exactly why it hurts. The love story that was never easy. Georgie Cooper was always the charming, street-smart older brother in young Sheldon, the guy who didn't need a textbook to navigate the real world. Mandy, a fierce and intelligent woman with her own dreams and ambitions, seemed an unlikely match for Georgie at first. She was older, more mature, and initially unimpressed by Georgie's charm. But somehow their personalities clicked, and when Mandy unexpectedly became pregnant, what started as an awkward situation evolved into an intense bond. Marriage came quickly, too quickly, not out of romance, but duty and desperation. Still, there were moments of genuine affection, those glimpses where Georgie would make Mandy laugh, or when Mandy would look at Georgie and see more than just the boy who got her pregnant. For a while, fans hoped they'd make it, but cracks were forming beneath the surface. The breakup that stayed hidden. Until now, while young Sheldon documented the major milestones, pregnancy, the proposal, the wedding, and eventually the divorce, it conveniently skipped over one very significant event, a temporary separation that happened midway through their marriage. Only now, thanks to new details subtly dropped in Season 7 of Young Sheldon and hinted at in the extended universe of The Big Bang Theory, fans are learning that Georgie and Mandy didn't just drift apart, they broke up. Sources close to the production have confirmed that during a 6-month period, Georgie and Mandy actually lived apart, co-parenting while not technically divorced. This was no simple trial separation. Mandy moved in with her parents. Georgie slept on the couch at Mimo's. Neither of them spoke about it publicly. On the surface, they kept up appearances for Cece, their daughter. But behind closed doors, it was icy. The split was painful. Not because of infidelity or betrayal, but because of something more subtle and haunting. Emotional disconnection. They grew up at different speeds. Mandy wanted to chase her career dreams and find her own identity beyond being a mom and wife. Georgie, content with providing financially, didn't understand the depth of her restlessness. They were speaking different emotional languages. The fight that changed everything. Insiders reveal that the tipping point came during a brutal argument over Mandy's desire to return to school. She wanted to study journalism, something she'd always put on the back burner. Georgie, overwhelmed and feeling unappreciated, lashed out. He didn't say she couldn't go back, but he didn't support her either. His reaction wasn't cruel, just thoughtless. And in that moment, Mandy realized she needed space, not just from Georgie, but from the life she'd been boxed into. They broke up, quietly, respectfully, but it was real. They continued to see each other for Cece's sake. They even shared meals as a family sometimes, but Mandy stopped wearing her ring. Georgie started staying out later. Their hearts had already begun to drift. Why it was hidden from the fans? So why wasn't this breakup shown on screen? It's a question that's been bouncing through the fandom since the reveal. The likely answer lies in tone. Young Sheldon, while not as zany as its parent series, maintained a certain warmth and nostalgia. Showing the unraveling of a young couple's marriage in such a raw and depressing way may have clashed with the show's overall vibe. Instead, the writers opted to hint at emotional distance, letting viewers connect the dots. But now, in light of the divorce storyline and callbacks in The Big Bang Theory, it's clear the writers always had this in their back pocket. The divorce wasn't a sudden, shocking thing. It was the culmination of a long, slow fade, a breakup hidden within a marriage, buried beneath shared responsibilities and unspoken regret. The emotional fallout. This revelation paints both characters in a new light. For Georgie, it's a moment of reckoning. He's no longer the lovable slacker who just wants to make things work. He's a man who didn't fight hard enough when it mattered most. His easygoing charm masked a deeper immaturity, and when Mandy reached out for emotional support, he didn't know how to give it. For Mandy, it's an awakening. Her decision to separate wasn't selfish, it was survival. She needed to reclaim herself, to remember who she was outside of being someone's wife or someone's mom. And though she loved Georgie, she couldn't keep pretending everything was fine when it wasn't.